All right, kids, this here lesson is our new life in America, and here's the directions. Now, if you can, these photographs are kind of fuzzy from the copier, and if you would open up your this on Google Classroom, you can see it more clearly. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to study these photographs below. We're going to form an overall impression of the photograph and then examine individual items. Beneath each photo, we're going to list what the people we see, the objects we see, and activity that we're seeing, okay, that we can infer. All right, so these 6 photographs tell a picture, tell a story, okay? So, of course, Our New Life in America, you can see that that's probably talking about, which it is, immigration. This is immigration around the turn of the century, 1880 to 1920, all right? So in this photograph, like I said, look at the one in Google Classroom to see it more clearly. These 2 guys are dressed in cold weather clothing. You can see that there's a wagon that they're doing some sort of work on. This is a thatched roof house, and these are logs in the background. So what people do? What do we see? We see men in clothes for cold weather. Objects, we see a wagon, lumber, okay, thatched roof, which is straw roof. That's an old way of living, isn't it? Or house or building. Okay, the activities, it looks like they're doing manual labor of some sort. So as you can see, there's no technology. It seems like an old world environment. Looks like a cold environment. Now, that may lead to people wanting to leave for a better life. Now, this here is really dark, but if you look at the photograph on Google Classroom, it's got lots of people. These little white dots are actually people's faces. So there's lots of people on the deck of a ship. Okay, so we can put people on the deck of a ship. Okay, of course we see the ship. We see water. Okay, and the activity is, and a lot of people in class, they figured it out. It's like, well, they must be traveling somewhere. Maybe they're traveling to America. So it looks like people moving, sailing, okay, to a new place. All right? Okay, now so hard life, many people want to get away from this, so they're going to get on a ship and move away. Well, here we have people, looks like there's some sort of medical inspector checking the eyes of a peasant lady. It looks European. So let's say we have a woman, medical inspector. Okay, the objects, you can see a uniform. You can see luggage. And the activity is medical inspection. Now, a lot of people in class started thinking, oh, are they at Ellis Island in New York? And they figured it out rather quickly. So we could actually let's go ahead and put Ellis Island, New York City. All right? And then the next scene is, once again, it's hard to see on here, but you can see people, and they have worried faces. They have worried looks on their faces, and they're carrying luggage. Looks like straw baskets. All right, and which they didn't have a lot of money. Immigrants coming to America. So people, we have immigrants on the streets. We see luggage, on the sidewalks. So what's the activity? And the people, the students in the class really were starting to catch on. They're saying they're looking for a place to live. And remember, immigrants coming in Ellis Island, they spent all their money on the expense of traveling, so they really have nothing. They're looking for a place to live, and they just look so bewildered, thinking, "What am I going to do?" Okay. Well, eventually, here we have the next step's going to happen, and this here is photograph's dark. But there's a student, I'm not a student, a child who's working in a factory. I think these are young children also, and so it's depicting the child labor issues of this time period. So you see children, and you see tools and benches, and so they're doing some sort of work, physical work. And so it looks like they're working labor, okay? And then this last picture that tells the story of the immigrants coming in at this time is you can see that there's umbrellas on the street. That does not mean that it's raining. You see people that are very active, and when you see umbrellas, it doesn't necessarily mean they're trying to cover up from rain, but they are maybe in the sunshine. So, especially in places like New York, during these years, the ethnic neighborhoods would put up umbrellas, and they would sell their own types of food, the foods and spices and clothing or whatever that they're accustomed to where they came from. So people are drawn to ethnic neighborhoods because they speak the same language, they eat the same foods, and it really draws them together. And that's where ethnic neighborhoods were created. Okay, so we have then we got vendors and shoppers. Okay, you got umbrellas, products. And the activity is people gathering, living, shopping in ethnic neighborhoods. Okay? So that is basically what you were to do with this assignment is you would actually see that it actually tells the story of immigrants coming to America at the turn of the century, the 19th to the 20th centuries. All right. So what you're supposed to do now is on the back, choose one of the photos and describe what's going on, infer what's going on. But what you can do, since I basically told you the story, is explain the story of the immigrants in these 6 photos. Tell the story, okay, on the back side. Thank you for watching.